been about 4 weeks into this UCLA Extension writing course, and I am thoroughly enjoying and appreciating the feedback that I'm getting on my book. Dead Air is a book that I started creating back in 2008, and during my heart crisis, when I was not able to work and I was bored, but my creative mind just wouldn't stop. And so I started writing notes for this book and creating characters and just having fun with it. And over the years, I bring up the story to other broadcast friends, and they're like, oh my God, I would totally read that book. I'm a writer is what I want to be. And I have dozens of novels that I have ideas for, but didn't really know how to structure them, know what message I want to convey, but how do I put it in there? And realizing that there's a lot of help out there. There's people who've written books who have a formula, or they have a method, or you need to do this. A friend of mine reached out to me randomly, a colleague, and she was the one who recommended the UCLA Extension program. She's just got is getting a book published. So I'm really glad. And so the comments from my classmates and the instructor have been, it's not like my book is the best book ever and I'm the greatest writer ever. No, I have some work to do. But I'm very thankful for the help and the constructive criticism. And I'm keeping notes. I've given them 2 chapters now. So the second chapter I've gotten the feedback on. And I'm finding now that I'm dreaming about the book and I'm waking up in the morning with ideas, and it's very refreshing. It's keeping my thoughts off of the negativity that's going on in the world. Even though I know it's out there, I'm not like hyper focused on it. It's keeping me faithful. And I feel that God has me on this path, and he has me out in the wilderness all by myself. I haven't found myself lonesome yet because I'm so mentally occupied and grateful. So I've been working on the book. So today is a day off. I don't have therapy today. Yesterday I had therapy sessions all day long. So now it's the weekend, and I'm going to spend the weekend just working on my craft. I had written more than I had thought I had written, and was surprised at what I'd written. Now I know how to fix things, and I feel like I can really get rolling along, but I still have more lectures and structural and educational things that I want to dig into before I really start writing, because I would have to go back and change it. So I have a method to my madness. Ideas like to marinate. And so I'm thankful that I have enough food and water and propane and gas for the generator that I can just sit here for the next 3 or 4 days and not have to worry about going anywhere. I know a lot of people think I should be doing touristy stuff, but that was one of the issues that I had when I was in Page, which was near Lake Powell and Antelope Canyon, is that any hiking or anything you want to do or any tours you want to do cost money. And I'm not going to leave my dog in his crate in a trailer in the wilderness so I can go on an adventure. That would just be cruel. Even though he'd probably sleep all day, he wouldn't even care. But I'm just not going to do it. And plus, I've already indicated that we're having some financial snags going on, and I just want to watch my expenses. And that's not I'm not on vacation. So I can still see these things, and I can get postcards. I can see pictures of what that stuff looks like. And the pictures that I do see, they're so crowded anyway. I don't know, it defeats the purpose. But being out here, there's campers out here, but we're so far apart that even when I woke up this morning at 5 a.m. and wanted brewed coffee, I didn't feel guilty about firing up the generator. That's a first. Before it's like I'd fire it up if I really needed to, if my batteries were dying, which was rare. But if people are camping near me, I'm not that's like a camping etiquette. Certain hours you run your generator. Mine's quiet anyway, but today I got up and I was like, I'm having some real coffee rather than instant coffee. But I still don't really know what I'm going to do with these videos. We'll see what happens with them. It might just be for myself to remember where I've been. I am feeling a lot better. I still like my midday naps, and I realize that's part of the healing process, because you get these flashes and you're healing some wounds. Your body needs to rest and your mind needs to rest. And I find that napping really helps. And then I read that that's part of the process, is you do take lots of naps. So the healing process is working. I'm praying about so many things like reconciliation and being reunited with family. I'm taking the steps I need to do, but I still keep hearing from the word I hear from God is just be patient and just wait. And I think that getting back to my travel day from hell, where I had to practice patience. I did not need to ask God for patience. I just asked God for help. I knew I was going to be patient because I did not want to damage my trailer and drive it over a cliff or anything else like that. So I just was patient. And that's a lesson that's a huge lesson for me. As I tend to get very frustrated, and my most of my life, there's always been somebody that's been able to step in and help me with mechanical stuff. But this time there hasn't been, and so I've been on my own. Anyway, but I got to tell you, been out here 2 nights, and be able to wake up this morning and coming out with the dog, and the first thing we see is a herd of cattle, and Kismet gets to have a staring contest with the cow, and then a calf. The baby dog, because Kismet's still a puppy, and the baby calf got closer and closer together. And as soon as Kismet wanted to go say hello, they both ran off. So as Kismet started to do this playful maneuver again, the cable that Kismet is connected to got caught under the hoofs of the cow when Kismet ran, and it scared the calf. I could hear the mom over here mooing to call the baby over. He said, screw this, we're going to go. And so Kismet just wanted to follow. If Kismet was not on the cable, I'm sure he would have been herding cattle today. He'd be out there just chasing the cows. I find it really amusing that I get to sit out here and just watch the cows go home. I'm watching the cows come and go. I just am grateful because at Page, when we were there, a rancher showed up with 6 horses. I think it was 6 horses and 4 mini horses. And Kismet got to check them out. But not only am I having a great adventure with Kismet, but Kismet's having a great adventure with me. And I am very grateful right now for this quiet, simple life of not having to be at networking meetings or be doing the hustle into bringing in business. I've realized that I think my whole life has been hustle to make money so that I've been in that kind of hustle mode. When we had the radio station, we always had to be making money and generating revenue. We had payroll to make or a bill to pay. And as part of the family, we just had to hustle and do it. And then when I got divorced and I'm a single mom, I'm always having to hustle to support my kids. And that really never ended. I think that kind of internal motor stayed with me even after my kids were grown and I wasn't supporting a family, supporting my parents in a way. And still feeling the hustle of taking care of them, which is when I translated into moving them in with me, and then feeling the hustle of still having to care for them and take care of my private practice and maintain relationships with my family. And I'm like the glue that holds it all together. And guess what? I burned out. I need help. I couldn't do it alone by myself anymore. I had an emotional mental breakdown. Not the kind that makes you go crazy where you need medications and you need to go to hospital and everything else. But it was enough for me to look at my life and say, I don't want to do this anymore. And with COVID and with the political climate and everything that else has been going on, it was a really good time. It was like, I don't want to rebuild the same old life I've already been rebuilding over and over again, which was network, get to know people, establish relationships, do the hustle, get yourself into leadership. I've been doing that since I was 16 years old. And not that I don't like it and not that it wasn't worth it and not that I didn't learn a lot. But I wanted to go in a different direction now. That's why I had the novels. So that's really what I've always wanted to do. And after I reviewed all of my journals and I went through them and I burned them all, I felt lighter. I felt the pressure, a lot of it just lift off of me. And I knew that the writing projects was going to be the next phase. And when my friend Libby contacted me, it just like, all right, she's got something for me. She's the one who guided me to this UCLA program. And so now I'm learning a lot, and I got a new client, a therapy client who's a writer and an author as a hobby and is sharing resources with me. So I love listening to her tell me about the stories that she writes, and she's given me some of her resources that have helped her. And I just give glory to God. He's got me on this path. I don't know where I'm going, but with every step of the way, he gives me what I need, from my travel adventures to my personal adventures, and then to whatever's next for me on the horizon professionally. I don't know if my novels are going to do anything or not. Can't it just be a hobby? If I was still dancing, I don't expect to be a famous dancer. I'm almost 60 years old, but can't it just be a hobby and I enjoy it? And so I've had to look at my writing as, can't they just be a hobby? I've always written. I've got dozens of poems. I've got dozens of book ideas. I can't help myself. So I'm just embracing it, rather than putting it off because I don't have time for it or who's going to care about what I have to write. I care. And I want to make time for it. I write stories. I marinate on creative ideas. And I think that's why I love people watching so much and why I'm so introverted, because I'm just making up stories as I go. They're helping me develop characters. Even made my journal, some of the people that I would write about is like, oh, there's a character. I think that's enough of an update this morning. I just wanted to capture the beauty of this place. This is off Copper Mountain Road or whatever. BLM Land 144 or BLM Road 144 is the name of it. And I'm just thrilled to be here. Yeah, we're close to the freeway, but you can't really hear it. It's very loud. So I feel safe. And there's just a few campers out here, not too many. The dog has plenty of room to roam, and he spent all day outside yesterday, which is great. Sleeps good. And I'm going to be here for a couple of weeks. All right. That's it for me. The adventures of Kelly and Kismet continue over and out.